Hey guys, EDDBUD here, and today I've got my top 5, in no particular order, marathon running shoes. So today a roundup of that most talked about shoe, the perfect balance of cushion, weight, lockdown, durability, flexibility and comfort. Over that 26.2 mile or 42.2 kilometers. These are my top 5 shoes for the marathon distance, in no particular order. Before we get into the video, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, please do hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications of when I launch my strange new shoe videos. Straight off the bat, the obvious choice. I've not really wanted to include it in all the other videos, but I am today, just so I can negate those comments of,
why haven't you included the Vaporfly Next %?
Well, it's here today. So that balance of Zoom X material in the midsole and the very forgiving nature of that foam makes this one the top dog. Still though, I think we've got some healthy competition that's come into play in 2020. The other manufacturers have upped their game a little bit, it has to be said. I don't think I can really leave this one out in the top 5 today. A very obvious but needed inclusion for the top 5. This one's for furious yet forgiving, fast fun. Really need to clean this shoe. Now we got that one out of the way, let's get to the next shoe. And second on that list is the mighty Saucony Endorphin Pro. A light and nimble shoe, but with a luxury feel. This one really holds on to its rigidity over time, unlike the Endorphin Speed that seemed to flex a little bit too much for me over 100 miles. And it started squeaking as well, which was very odd. The Pro comes in slightly lighter than the Endorphin Speed, but you've got to consider 50 Earth credits cheaper than the Nike Vaporfly Next %. The foam over longer sessions really did leave my legs feeling, and there's little of that bottoming out feel at all that you get with some other types of foam over longer distances. Over longer efforts, the legs and muscles just feel so good. I wouldn't say they feel good, but they feel less fatigued. And I'm a really big fan of that light, flexible, but very containing upper. This one certainly proved to be a really popular choice if you can find it. I think this shoe's a little bit more difficult to get hold of than the Endorphin Speed. I think people really love that companion shoe to the Pro, and as such they make a really good pairing. It's a bit of a no-brainer really. If you like the Speed, then perhaps go for the Pro for racing. But I think it's well worthy of a place on my top 5 list today. Shoe 3 has got to be the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro. A shoe which, when it first appeared on the scene, many mocked, including me. I mean, that skyscraper-like midsole. It just looked bizarre, but as usual with all carefully designed Adidas models, all the doubters were left with egg on their face. The sumptuous squish of the Light Strike Pro material here in the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro really works well for me. I think it works well for most distances I've tried it on as well up to now. And I can say, hand on heart, that I've not experienced a single issue at all with the upper. In fact, I'd say it's probably the best that I've tried in 2020, at least for fit on a consistent basis. It just doesn't change. To me, it's the Mr. Spock of running shoes. I feel it fits in with the needs of the many, and it's got absolutely great cushioned properties at a more Earth credit container friendly price. I've certainly been prospering whilst wearing this shoe with some PRs recently. I just hope it lives long in terms of durability. Fourth shoe today is the Alphafly Next %. Now this is a shoe I've said before, I don't think it works for everybody. Some people seem to get on superbly with the Air Zoom units here in the forefoot, and others, well, not so much. I think I fall into the yes category, where the Alphafly and the Tempo Next % just work really well for my running style. Running in this one today, threshold pace, 7-mile session, 11.2 kilometers at roughly 6 minutes 57 per mile pace, equating to 4 minutes 19 per kilometer. Really enjoying myself with the Zoom X and React sandwich here, and that nice chewy Zoom AirPod. Nice and chewy. Just seems to work really well, this setup for me. I know other people have found it really clunky. I don't find this shoe clunky at all. In fact, it was really difficult trying to navigate past people today because they couldn't even hear me. I had to shout out to them, "Runner, on your right." And even that wasn't enough. They just sort of bumbled about in front of me and I had to go into the road. It was pretty nippy out there earlier. That's why I had to go so fast. Perfect conditions for the EDDBUD. So the most expensive shoe today on the list but also the most cushioned, but I also think it's the most niche shoe of all of the shoes we're looking at today. I think for me it's a 10-mile plus shoe. Not sure I'd use it for anything below that. I think that extra cushion comes into play later in those longer runs. I think that's when it reveals the true benefits it has to the runner and the secrets become unfurled. Though who am I to say how you should use your running shoes? If you've got one of these and you want to run a 5k in it, go and do it. Just because someone on YouTube tells you not to, it's just madness. Enjoy your shoes how you want to enjoy them, people. I've lost the last pair, I'm not sure where they've gone. I thought it strange to have a list full of carbon plate shoes, so I've got a non-carbon plate option, which is the Adidas Boston 9. I think it's important to have a shoe without a plate in for this list, and I think this one holds up best over the long runs. A surprise choice perhaps, but a worthy one. Lots of cushion here, but a little more responsive than just a straight out and out Boost shoe. We got Boost and the Light Strike combo, and it's a tasty combo. They should sell that in Subway. Bit of Boost, bit of Light Strike on some hearty Italian. Sounds good. Sounds tasty. A little bit like the icing on top of a moist Christmas cake. Boston 9's got good balance between support, fit and the durability, but at a really great price too. I mean, you can pick these up on a discount for around about 80 Earth credits, which is darn good. Certainly around these times where we're trying to save Earth credits to put them into other avenues, like Christmas presents for people. Am I going to get a beast? The upper's certainly not plush here, but comfortable enough for the long distance, and it's got enough underfoot cushion there for those long runs. At pace though, don't want too much there. I think if you're after a bit more road feel as well, you'll get it in the Boston 9. So I think those of you after a non-carbon plate marathon shoe, you may not have to look too much further than this one. And very versatile and durable. Continental. So there are a couple of shoes that just missed out here. I would say that I almost included the New Balance Fuel Cell RC Elite. I think it's a spot on half marathon shoe for me, that one. A little perhaps too unstable when your form starts to break down towards the end of one of those longer runs. So I think I'm going to stick with that one as a half marathon option. Perhaps the Adidas Adizero Pro could be a really good option too. I believe they're on discount at the moment over in the US. If you want that lovely Sellar mesh upper that you find on the Adizero Adios Pro, then look no further than that one. But with more dense cushion underfoot, a little light strike, a little boost, a little closer to the Boston 9 perhaps, but you do have the carbon plate there, which is nowhere near as rigid as the one that you find in the Saucony Endorphin Pro. So the Adizero Pro could fit the bill for you. So lots of options there over the marathon distance. But let's not forget that everybody's got different requirements for that. It's kind of like the most talked about shoe, isn't it? The marathon distance shoe. Let me know what your chosen marathon shoe would be or has been in the past down in the comments. I've been listening to lots of raucous music recently. I don't want anything quiet or subtle or sincere. It's just been crazy stuff. Drum and bass, really fast indie music. And of course one of the best raucous indie bands from back in 2006 was the Fratellis. They're still going now, but I don't think they've ever beaten their debut album Costello music. The first two tracks are like a greyhound out the traps. Henrietta and Flathead are just bonkers. They're balmy. Quite audacious, in fact. Chelsea Dagger's a good track, but I find it hard to like that one because it has the word Chelsea in it. I mean, I like Viali and Zola Chelsea. That was a different thing altogether. Creeping Up the Back Stairs is a real winner as well. And everybody knows Whistle for the Choir. It's one of those tracks that's a hum-along winner. Can't believe this one was way back in 2006. I think some of the production actually goes quite a long way to improving the tracks. It's generally quite overdriven and quite compressed, but just gives it more energy. So do check that one out if you haven't heard it already. It's Costello music by the Fratellis. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I very much appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications of when we launch those new videos. It also helps the channel out a huge amount. You give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you